name's Austin, this is my RX7, and I'm going to tell you what it's like owning one. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is maintenance. Rotaries are very sensitive to maintenance. They will not last long if you neglect them. Just basic maintenance, you know, changing filters, changing oil, making sure vacuum lines are good, just things like that. Everything is running good gas, because if this thing detonates, it's gonna break ATEX seals. They just require a lot more attention than a regular piston engine. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I have gotten shit or flack about owning a spinny Dorito thing. From people who don't understand how a rotary works or anything like that. All they are is they're just gonna talk shit to you about it. And honestly, it gets quite annoying. So that's another thing that you gotta expect when you own an RX7.
You're gonna blow your apex seals anyways.
Right? FDs in particular are extremely temperamental with the stock twins. They have what's called a rat's nest underneath the intake manifold right there that has probably 20 to 30 different vacuum lines to actuate the turbos and tell them when they need a spool and things like that. And when they get old, the vacuum lines like to crack, the solenoids like to go bad. So I would suggest the first thing you do is simplify it or go big signal. I like the twins just because of the spool characteristics of it. This one's turned up to about 18 pounds, so it probably makes about 400 horsepower, which is plenty. I like to drive it at that level. I don't want it to be anything gnarly. So yeah, that's another thing that you need to kind of look for if you're planning on purchasing one of these, is to make sure all that is somewhat okay and that you can actually handle simplifying it yourself. So another thing I've noticed owning my RX7 is I get a lot of attention no matter where I go. The gas station, Walmart. Well, I don't really take it to Walmart because you can't really fit anything in here. But just driving down the street, people are always asking, what is that? What is that? They act like they've never seen one before, even though they made them here. But constantly people are asking me what this is, where did I get it? They don't understand how old it is actually. They think it's something newer just because of the body lines and everything. But you get a lot of attention in these cars. So another thing you're gonna have to get used to owning an RX7 or any rotary is you're gonna have to pre-mix the gas. These you don't really have to because they have an oil metering pump which pumps in oil into the combustion chamber, but those are, sometimes they don't work or things like that. So just to be sure, pre-mix your oil into the fuel, and you can use anything, but any type of two-stroke well, but now, since you are pre-mixing the gas in these, they're gonna smoke. And a lot of people are gonna wonder, is your car broken? Are your apex seals going bad? Things like that. So, sitting at stoplights, it might start smoking a little bit. People are gonna wonder, people ask. So, just get used to that. Parts and stuff like that are extremely expensive, especially if you're buying some OEM parts for this car. Say this bumper, this 99 spec front bumper, it's an OEM bumper from Mazda. This cost me about $950. The lip is OEM Mazda. That also cost me about $550 before shipping. So you can kind of see that parts are pretty damn expensive for this car. The aftermarket support in the FD or any RX7 community is pretty good. They have a lot of good companies that are willing to help you because the community is so small. They want to keep these things running. They want to, make sure people are happy with their products because they are so specialized. Let's say other than like a BMW or something like that. There's a lot more companies for that. But for the RX7s and stuff like that, there's not as many, but they are willing to go a lot further for you to help you and make sure you are happy with their product, or make something special for you. Imported ones from, say, Japan, are a little bit cheaper than US domestic, US market ones, just because they only made the left-hand drive ones here in America. Everywhere else got right-hand drive ones, so the right-hand drive ones, there's a lot more of them. I went the route of importing this one because it was a little bit cheaper, and I don't know, I like the right-hand drive aspect of it, the JDM, bits that came with it. I thought it was cool, but this car's worth to me what a left-hand drive one is, I guess, in America, and with all the work that I've done to it, it's roughly worth the same now. So in my opinion, the FD community or RX7 community in general is the best community I've ever been a part of. All the people in that community are so helpful and willing to help you with anything. I mean, when I had problems with my turbos not spooling correctly, I had people, 3 or 4 RX7 guys come down to my house and stay till 1, 2 in the morning trying to help me get my car running, just because they love seeing another FD or RX7 rolling around on the streets, because they are so rare and hard to find. So that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about the RX7 community is the people in it.